This is part 2 of the AM drive into work. I think it's the 6th of March, 2023. I'm very sure of the year. I'm very sure of the day of the week. I'm just not quite sure of the date. I'm pretty sure it's the 6th, but I'm really not sure. And it's not important. So, part 1, I was explaining my absence. In case you're seeing this one out of order, I'll cover everything that I talked about in the first one in a couple of seconds. I have gout. That's why I've been out of, not been making videos. I still don't have a thing to connect my windshield for the phone. That's why you're seeing this kind of weird, wonky angle. I'm making sauerkraut, and if this first batch turns out well, I'll actually video the process. Although it only takes a couple of seconds to explain the process. It's shredding up some cabbage, throwing some salt in it, massaging it, throwing it into a jar, and weighing it down. The end. 3 to 10 days you have sauerkraut. Oh, my foot. I was also explaining that I faint like a little girl because my body overcompensates when I'm thinner. Before I stopped recording, I guess for a week or so, I was talking about the diet that I started. It was really didn't change my eating habits much, other than I started doing intermittent fasting. And just so you know, over the past couple of weeks, I haven't been able to do that. I haven't been able to do the intermittent fasting. I definitely haven't been able to exercise, but I didn't gain the weight back. All the weight that I lost during the intermittent fasting has stayed off. I'm still under 200 pounds. I hope soon to start the diet again, but I'm not going to do anything until this frickin' gout passes. Anything drastic, because I'm having a hard time having it go away. This is the longest flare-up like I've ever heard of. Like, it's literally over 2 weeks. Oh, that's one of the things I was talking about earlier that I never quite finished. Is that's why I was talking about vasovagal syncope, is because my body seems to have a lot of alarm systems. My body warns me about a bunch of shit, and it's overly sensitive. And a week before the gout flare-up, I had warning. I knew it was going to happen. My foot, in that area on my left foot, that big toe knuckle, it felt weird. And I think what pushed me over the edge is one night I had, fish, and the next day I had fish sticks, and may have had a couple of beers. Normally I'm a scotch and vodka guy, but I think I may have had a beer or two. It might have even been wheat beers. I don't know if that makes a difference. It does to me. I don't like wheat beers. Hefeweizen and all that stuff. I don't like cloudy beer. It's probably because I was brought up on like crappy American beers like Budweiser and things like that are like ultra filtered, and it's like a pretty clear piss color. Also, I've noticed that wheat beers will give me a headache. I don't get hangovers anymore because I'm a raging alcoholic, but I do sometimes get headaches after drinking. Not quite the same thing as a hangover. I don't want to be pedantic about it. So just understand. I can drink a handle of scotch and I'll be fine. But if I have a couple of wheat beers, I will have a headache. So anyway, what was I on about? Yes. So the gout attack. Like, I had warnings. What I didn't realize, though, for some reason in my head, it stuck in my head that it was shellfish that caused gout flare-ups, not fish itself. Like, so I was I went right to the highway. I didn't even bail on the back roads. I'm like, why don't I have a coffee yet? And now I know why. Because I went right for the highway, so there is no coffee between here and there. I should stop somewhere for coffee. I'll make that decision when I get close to work, depending on what time it is. Like I said, I got a late start. The gout slows me down quite a bit, but I really need to be in the office. It's literally been 2 weeks since I've been there, and I need to be in there. I need to go through the shop and just see where things are. This is incredibly painful. Fortunately, it's not my driving foot. It's just the sit over here foot. I could probably take my foot out of this shoe. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense. Well, one, I'm on the highway right now, so it probably doesn't make sense. It's just dangerous to be messing around with my shoe. And two, it was really hard to put on. So I think I will go to work, walk through the shop, and then take my shoe off and never leave my desk again. At some point I gotta tie this tie too. Brush my hair. Oh, it was crazy. So the back to the gout thing and work. So like I said, the first three, I may not have said in this video, but I said it in the last video, the first 3 days of the gout flare-up, I couldn't work. Like, I couldn't even work remotely. The pain was too bad. I just needed to, basically, I needed to keep numbing my foot so I could get comfortable and try to get sleep. Like, the first week of the attack, I may have gotten maybe 2 full nights of sleep. The whole week put together, all the combined time I spent sleeping, maybe it was 2 nights. It was bad. Jesus Christ. Woo. So the first 3 days I couldn't work. Day 4, I didn't want to take any more sick days, so I decided I was going to work from home. So I get up early, I start setting up, I grab my bag, and interestingly, the weekend before I had the gout attack, I had work, so I had to pull a double because somebody asked me to trade with them. So I ended up working that weekend, and when I left, I don't know how this happened, but I forgot to put my computer in my laptop bag. So on Thursday, when I guess it was last Thursday, when I finally, no, the Thursday before last, when I decided I was going to work, I realized I don't have, as I'm unpacking my bag and like hooking it up to my, I've got a docking station mounted to my wall for my work laptop. Like my office desk is really nerded out. I've got my gaming rig on the right side and my work rig on the left side. So I got 4 monitors on the table. I think only 4. 2 for my work computer, 2 for my gaming computer. One of them's a really nice one. Big, my gaming computer. Nice giant monitor and a smaller monitor next to it. I'm really happy with the setup. So anyway, I forgot my computer. I'd left it at work, and I really needed to work, so I had to drive. I had to drive into work. So I'm wearing slippers, like slip-on slippers, no heels, extremely painful. Drive all the way into work just to get my laptop so I could go home and work remotely. And then I did that Friday and the complete next week, which would have been last week. And now I'm driving into work, thinking I can do it, but well, I can, obviously. Once I get there, once I get the shoe off, things will be much better. But holy moly, what an ordeal! Not pleasant at all. So yeah, I guess how this started was I was saying, yeah, my body gives me warning signs. So for a full week, my toe knuckle had that sensation. It didn't hurt, but I knew something was on the. So I was actually trying to be careful, relatively careful. I mean, I didn't eliminate any of the stuff that would set off a gout attack, other than the fact that I think it was fish that set it off. We had I made a big salmon for dinner, and the next day I ate fish sticks, and that's when I went full blown gout attack. I don't having this gout attack for over 3 weeks. It's localized, or at least the pain is localized to that foot. But I'm having, like, everything I've read, this is an insane marathon attack. It flies in the face of credulity. I don't quite understand why it's still so bad. Sorry for the what appear to be negative videos today. Like I said, it's hard to focus on anything other than the crippling pain that I'm experiencing right now. I really should have grabbed a bottle of water as well. Very thirsty. Just sauerkraut that I want to start fermenting other foods. I want to make kimchi and things like that. As I said in the last video, I've made pickles before, and there's like a photo documentary of all the steps back when I was very, very active on Facebook, and I used to document. Like, my friends would make fun of me because I would constantly check in to where I was, like to the point where like every couple of minutes I would just do that check-in thing. I was using Foursquare. I don't know if it was called Foursquare at the time. I still have the app. I don't know if I've signed in on my new phone. Whenever I switch phones, it's almost like my personality changes because I don't bring all of my apps over with me. Like, there's games that I've been addicted to. Like, I played Top War pretty religiously for a year. I was the owner of I was the commander of a giant army, and I used to go into the group and world chats, and I would just display my Soriani brand of humor, and I was a very, very popular character, and that's how I ended up building my army. It was I use a type of self-disparaging humor when I play those games, and I would just constantly make fun of my own army. I did the same thing in private chat. I just had a good old time with it. There were people that played that game that were like ultra serious, like some real jerkwads actually. They were, and they didn't mind flaunting the fact that they spent money, and I think part of the reason that a lot of the other commanders didn't like me is because I literally spent zero money on the game, and I amassed this huge army, and offshoot armies. Like, other companies became friends with me, and they would take my company's name and just alter it slightly, so that people knew that they were affiliated with my group. I logged on a few months ago. My army still exists. It's under the command of I think he's Australian. He joined one day, and he's very quiet. He's just a grinder. He would come in and he would just grind, and just play the game. So I made him second in command. I believe he's currently in charge of my armies. But it's been a few months since I've logged on. I probably won't. Like, I've played games like that before, and it just you invest. It's a weird thing. I know I have an addictive personality, but things like that, like, I'm not good with socializing with people, and games like that will just absorb all of my free time. I will go in there and use it as a surrogate for social interaction, because these people aren't real. I mean, they may be real people, but I never have to meet them. There's no, I get too much invested in these fake worlds, and they become a time suck. Like, you feel like you're building something, but it ends up that all that effort, all that time that you're spending on these games, it's all for naught, because you don't get anything. There's other than the satisfaction of a job well done. Building an army, like, you can be proud of it and stuff like that, but in the end, it's just ones and zeros on the other side of a computer, and nobody really cares that you built an army. like I said, I had fun interacting with the people, but like I said, it's very, very low risk. Like, you know, you can make enemies on there, and people can be mad at you, or you can be mad at people, but it's not real. There's no downside. But like I said, yeah, emotionally, I find that I do get too invested, and then it's just a giant time suck. I tried so hard, and that is definitely... Is it too short? Is it too short? Yeah, it's too short. You may be wondering who's driving the car right now. Me too. God's growth. We're all gonna die. Who's piloting the ship? I think this is a double Windsor. Too long now. I don't plan on doing a lot of walking around today, so got a couple of options. I can fix it when I get to work, or I can say nothing. So just it is what it is. Tie in the... What in the world? For the love of Pete. Gosh darn it. There's a shirt I have, and every time I wear this shirt, I make the same joke because I think I'm hilarious. I post it on Facebook every so often. I think I lost a buttonhole because my shirt is literally missing a buttonhole. Which reminds me, speaking of underwear, so I often make the mistake of buying socks and underwear in like big box stores. And those aren't... What is that? Oh, that's a broken thing. What was that? Eyeglass thing. So anyway, they're generally... I think they're generally irregulars. That's why they're selling them so cheap. So I believe that's the shirt that I have that's missing a buttonhole. I may have gotten that at like a BJ's or something like that. And I'm trying to think of where I bought a pack of underwear that I have, but one of them, the one I'm wearing right now, actually, a black pair of underwear, and you know, guys' underwear, like it's got that weird, like all these seams in the front, like there's this weird pocket where you can, reach in case you have something stored in there. I have no idea what the point is in that pocket in the front of guys' underwear. Like nobody uses that I'm aware of to like pee through or anything like that. Like I think everybody just pulls their underwear down to go, not down to their ankles or anything like that. But anyway, there's this weird pocket. Well, the underwear I have currently, the one side, I'm gonna say it's the right side. Like there's the seam, but it's not actually sewn. So there's like just literally this giant hole in my underwear from the waistband to the let's call it the taintal area, where it's wide open. It's not a problem because it's far enough off to the side that I haven't thrown the underwear out. They still function, but like there's this like wide open door way off to the side, so it doesn't cause a problem. It's just weird. And you really didn't need to know that. wrong with it. I would hate to be you. I also, while suffering with gout, like a little over a minute to get into this, but because the pain was so severe, I went quite a few days in between showers, and that's not advisable. Don't do that. Find a way to get a shower. I wonder if I'm going to have, since I went highway the whole time, I'm not sure if I'm going to have the time to do the third one. I'm going to start it anyway, but I am pretty sure I'm coming up on my exit, unless I've missed it already. I don't think so. Good morning. Do I look like I'm in pain? Is there an in pain look? Is my brow furrowed? I don't know what that word means. I know what it means in context, but gosh darn it. Anyway, see you in a minute.